I've got a first-person story this time. Back in 2021, my wife and I had the awesome opportunity to drive the Alcan Highway from the United States, the lower 48 of the United States, up to Alaska. The only downside is that it was in the middle of COVID and it was January. So we were driving through Canada and upper Alaska during COVID. And it was not fun. There's a whole other story about how weird it was driving through Canada that time. Very 1984 vibes. The people were not very accommodating. Everybody was terrified. But the most interesting part of the journey was when we made it to the Yukon. We'd been driving for hours without seeing another vehicle at all. It was snowing pretty consistently, pretty hard the entire time we were driving. It's kind of like that Star Wars situation where the snow was just zipping past us. And I had one of those light bars on the top of my Jeep that was just illuminating everything around us. And there was a sign saying that there were going to be a bunch of bison on the highway. We saw this big long train of bison just walking along the side of the road. And it was really neat. They were all covered with snow and coated, just big thick tufts of snow on their back. And I was just kind of zoned out driving in the pitch dark outside with snow flying around us and these bison walking alongside the vehicle. When suddenly to the left of me, so on the other side of the freeway, I saw something that was really just confusing to me. It looked like maybe there was like a roadside attraction or something, and I couldn't quite wrap my head around it. But as I was staring at it, it looked like a giant Bigfoot or a Yeti, a big white hairy creature standing there. And since my light bar was on, it put its hands up like this and blocked the light and squinted its eyes and kind of made an irritated face. And I just sat there silently, and it happened so fast too. We drove by, full highway speeds, just sat there contemplating what happened in a kind of a daze. And I wasn't even gonna say anything to my wife because I just thought I'd gone crazy. And then she goes, "Was that a Yeti?" And I was like, "You saw that too? Did we just see a Yeti or a Bigfoot or Sasquatch, whatever you want to call it?" And it's undeniable. I never would have thought that I saw something like that, but she confirmed it for me when she said that. And we both saw the same thing. We saw this large creature. It wasn't a bear. It had to have been 9 feet tall, big, hairy. To me, it looked like it was white, but it could have just been covered with snow. And it had that typical look to it of a Bigfoot with human-like hands coming up to its eyes, covering up its eyes. And its face was that, I don't know, typical Bigfoot face, but it was more of a simian style creature rather than a bear. And we had to drive for a few more hours after that, and we just kept on spiraling back to that crazy moment where we saw a Yeti.